Hello, hello. Barbara Ragsdale here, independent maker with Close to My Heart. And this is the video. If you purchased the Gnomes for Spring card making workshop kit, this is the video, the visual video to the cutting instructions for the patterned paper that you get in your kit. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is on page 2 of your cutting instructions, the diagrams that you see here, we're going to be cutting up the paper. So, and then after that, there'll be a separate video for the coordinating cardstock that comes with your kit. That way you will be ready to assemble all of your cards at some point, whenever you're ready to assemble your cards. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be working with, let's see, our paper's double-sided. We're going to be working with this particular pattern paper first. So let's put the other two aside. And let me bring this down just a little bit. So hopefully you can see the measurements a little bit better there and there's no glare on there. So the first cut that we're going to be doing is we want to take our zip strip off. And the zip strip is the side that has the little pattern strip on the edge. That way, when you cut it down, your paper is going to be exactly 12 by 12, because right now it is 12 by 12 and a half because of your zip strip. And we're going to be using that later. So just set that aside for now. Now let's flip our paper back over because we're going to be cutting this side first. And I might have to bring my instructions just a little bit closer so I can see them. Some of those numbers are pretty large, and that's okay. So let's get our paper in our trimmer. Get that glare off there. The first cut that we're going to be doing is at 4 inches. So 4 inches. And then turn your paper landscape and cut it at 5 inches. We're going to be cutting 2 of these. So 1, slide over, and 2. Okay, so I'm going to be giving you a number for the cuts that we're doing. Both of these 4 by 5 cuts are for card number 3. So you want to get some stacks started. 1, 2, 3, 4. That way you know all of your pieces go to that particular card. So I'm going to start my 3 right there. This little piece that came out of our trimmer, that is scrap. So you can set that aside. Now we're going to put our paper back in our trimmer the way we took it out. And we are going to cut a 5.5 inch strip all the way down. And then we're going to turn our paper landscape. Hopefully I am going slow enough for you if you are cutting along. And we're going to cut it at 4 1/4. 4 1/4. And we're cutting 2 of those. 4 1/4. Now these 2 pieces that are 5.5 by 4 1/4, that is for card number 5. So let me start a 5 stack right there. This piece that is left, what we're going to do is we're going to turn it to where the long side is along the top. Okay, so the side, this measures 3.5, which that's what we need it to be. We need our piece to be 3.5 inches wide. It already is. So we're going to turn it landscape to where our long piece is at the, trying to get those glares off, at the top. And we're going to cut 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to cut 4 of them at 3. We're going to cut 4 of them at 1 inch. Sorry, 1 inch. 1 inch. Cut 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those 4 pieces that are 3.5 by 1 inch are going to card number 7. Whew. because we're making 8 cards. There's 2 of each design in this particular card making kit. So just keep that in mind. So I might have to put some sticky notes in front of these because I'm going to get confused really quick. Give me a moment. I'm going to do 3, 5, and 7. Okay, there we go. Now this little piece that's left in our trimmer, we're going to cut 2 of them at, oh my gosh, 1/4 of an inch. It's getting smaller. 2 of them at 1/4 of an inch. Those are really small. Really small. So those 2 pieces at 1/4 of an inch. Let me start at 8. These is for card number 8. Are for card number 8. Those are some small pieces. Oh my goodness. That piece that's left is scrap, as well as this long piece that's left. So those are scrap pieces. Those are some good scrap pieces too. All right. Now I will tell you that for card number 5, even though I cut it on this side right here, on your card, you're going to be using the cloud side. So I'm going to put it cloud side down, and then also on card number 7, I cut all of them. Card number 7 was these pieces. I cut all of them on this side, but 2 of them are going to be using the cloud side as well. So I'm going to put those down just like that. And the next piece that we're going to cut, let's do our gnomes. So grab your gnome piece. It's this side with the gnomes, and this side with all of the other spring images. And I'm going to go ahead and cut our zip strip off first. So let's cut that off. Set that aside. And let's see. The first cut, we are going to cut it at 4 inches. So on your gnome side, cut it 4 inches all the way down, and then turn your paper landscape, and we're going to cut 2 of them at 5 inches. 5 inches, 5 inches. Now these 2 pieces right here are for card number 6. So let me start my pile of 6s over here. Those 2 pieces are card number 6. This little piece that came out is scrap. Now let's get our paper back in our trimmer. And the next cut is going to be at 4.5. Well, we're going to have scraps either way we look at it. So there's no easy way around this. So yes, let's just go ahead and cut it at 4.5. I am drying my clothes too at the same time, if you can hear my dryer go off. And then we turn our paper landscape and cut 2 of them at 3.5. So those 2 pieces that I just cut at 4.5 and 3.5, those are for card number 2, and we're actually going to be using the other side when we assemble our cards. And let me pull this little piece out that we just cut. On this piece right here, stay with me here. I'm going to try to explain this. This piece right here, let me show you the card that is, so you can see what I'm trying to explain. On our instructions, if you can see that card right there, we have to cut these 2 pieces into smaller pieces in order to create that look for that card right there. Okay, so what we're about to do, let me flip my instructions back over, is each one of these pieces, we're going to cut it at 1.5 inches. You got to have 3 pieces at 1.5 inches, but keep them sequential when you put them together. So I'm going to suggest to put this one on top, that one on the middle, and that one on the bottom. That way, when you go to lay them back out, you can pull them apart and you create the pattern that you want to see on your paper. It might get a little tricky, but it should work, because you see how where it's cut, like with the little watering can at the top. And then when you look at piece number 2 and 3, like that little flower goes back together at the top. So keep those tight in together. Those go to card number 2. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other one. Cut it at 1.5 inches. And keep those pieces together and sequential. So I'm going to put my left on the top, there's my middle, and the right on the bottom. And I'm going to keep those right there. The rest, this piece that we pulled out of our trimmer, let's get that back in there. And we've got a couple of more cuts to do for card number 7. And we're going to cut it at, we're going to be cutting the back of it, actually. So let's just flip it over. We're cutting the back. There we go. And let me double check something. Card number 7. Yeah, okay. We're going to cut it at 1 inch. Yeah, 1 inches. Cut 2 of them at 1 inch. Okay, and then turn both of them sideways and cut it at 3.5 inches. So cut both of those pieces at 3.5 inches. And these 2 pieces go to card number 7. And the rest of what we cut out, all of this right here, is scraps. Those are some good scraps too. All right, the last piece that we're going to be cutting is this striped pattern paper, which the flip side has all those sentiments that are kind of swirly. Let's cut off our zip strip and put it aside. And the first that we're going to be doing is this side. And we want to, let me think about this real quick, because we're going to be turning it to where our lines are going horizontal. And then let me take a peek at the cards real quick just to make sure. I'm just double checking, you guys. Because the lines are going to confuse me. If I don't double check, the lines will definitely confuse me. Okay, so yes, we are going to be cutting with our paper lines going horizontal. Yep, okay. I had to double check. All right, so the first cut that we're going to be doing is going to be at 3 inches. 3 inches. Okay, and then turn that piece landscape and cut it at 5.5 inches. And we're cutting 2 of them. 5.5 inches. Okay, and these 2 pieces go to card number 4. So put that in your stack of 4s. Why does my thing look crooked? I might have bumped it. Sorry about that. Move that back just a little bit. Move that one back just a little bit. Get that glare off. There we go. All right, sorry about that. All right, let's get our paper. This little piece that we cut off, that is scrap. And let's get our paper back in our trimmer. And the next one we're going to be cutting is at 2 inches. So cut a piece of 2 all the way down. Turn your paper sideways, landscape, whatever you want to call it, and cut 2 pieces at 5 inches. 5 inches. Okay, and those 2 pieces that we just cut are for card number 1. Card number 1. That little piece that came out is scrap. Let's get our paper back in our trimmer. And the next one we're going to be doing, well, actually, let's flip our paper. Let's flip our paper because we're going to be cutting the other side. And the first cut we want to do is at 1 3/4 inches. 1 3/4 inches all the way down. Turn your paper landscape and cut 2 pieces at 5 inches. So 1, 2. And these 2 pieces that we just cut are for card number 1. And this little piece is scrap. Now, let's flip our paper back to the other side. These pieces, you guys, are about to get pretty small. So I'm going to have to pull this paper a little bit closer to me so I make sure that I see these numbers right. The first one we're going to do is at 1/2 inch. Ooh, 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. All the way down. And turn. My thing came out. There we go. My blade came out. Turn that long piece horizontal, and we're going to cut 1, 2. We're going to cut 2 at 5.5 inches. 2 pieces at 5.5 inches. We're going to have some small scraps here. These 2 pieces go to card number 5. And I don't know if y'all heard that, but somebody's really proud of their motor in their car. Card number 5. That little piece that came out is scrap. Let's put our paper back in our trimmer. And oh my goodness, you guys. Let's do this. Let's do this. This piece that we have left, let's turn it landscape in our trimmer, and let's cut 1, 2. We're going to cut 2 pieces at 3.5 inches. 2 pieces at 3.5 inches. Okay. And then both of those pieces that we just cut, turn them to where your lines are going horizontal. Okay, I had to do a little trick there in order to not mess up the bottom half over here, because if I went all the way down on a cut, I wouldn't be cutting the next pieces correctly. So now that we have those 2 pieces in there, we're going to cut 2 pieces at 1 inch. So cut 2 pieces at 1 inch. These 2 pieces are for card number 7, but for one of those pieces, you're going to be using the flip side. So those 2 pieces right there go to card number 7. The next one is going to be at 3/4 of an inch. So get your paper back in your trimmer and cut one at 3/4 of an inch. And this one is for card number 8. And this piece right here is scrap. Now, we're going to do the same thing again for this other piece that we just cut. So, cut 2 pieces at 1 inch. 2 pieces at 1 inch. And these two pieces go to card number 7, and then you're going to be using the flip side to that piece of paper as well. So card number 7, and this piece is, get it back in your trimmer and cut a piece at 3/4 of an inch. And this piece right here goes to card number 8. And this piece right here is scrap. Now that other big piece that we have left, it should be 5 inches wide, which it is. Turn it to where your lines are going horizontal. And we're going to cut 2 pieces at, oh my God, that says 1/4 of an inch. 1/4 of an inch, you guys. I told you these pieces were going to be small. Oh my goodness. 2 pieces at 1/4 of an inch. And both of these little pieces go to card number 2. Card number 2. And then we got 2 more cuts. The next one we're going to be doing is at 1/2 inch. So cut 2 pieces at 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. Now, those 2 pieces that we just cut, we're going to turn them sideways and cut them down to 3.5 inches. Cut those 2 pieces that we just cut down to 3.5 inches. And these 2 pieces are for card number 8 as well. And these 2 little pieces, which are some cute scraps, and this larger piece is scrap as well. And whoa, that is it. That is it for the pattern paper cutting. And so the next video that I'll be uploading will be for the cardstock. And then at that point, you'll be able to assemble your cards. If you want to join me live, let me double check my calendar date here. If you want to join me live to assemble this set of cards, you can join me live on my YouTube channel on Sunday, March the 10th. Yes, March the 10th at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. And during that video, I'll be assembling one of each of the cards. And so I look forward to seeing you online, and hopefully this video helped. If you have any particular feedback about the video, you can leave it down in the comments section, because I look at my comments all the time. And so other than that, have a great rest of your day or evening or night, wherever you are. And we will see you in the next video. All right, when I did my patterned paper cutting video, I forgot about the zip strips, you guys. So I'm sorry, there's a little break in the video there, but we're going to be cutting up our zip strips for the cards. And so the first one we're going to start with is the Limeade zip strip. So get your Limeade zip strip, and let me pull this down a little bit so we can not see that glare. And they're all 1/2 inch wide. So now we're going to turn our zip strips where they're landscape in our printer, and we're going to cut 2 pieces at 4 3/4. 4 3/4. And these 2 pieces right here go to card number 3. And we're going to cut this at 1 inch. The little piece that's left, cut it down to 1 inch. Ooh, these are some small pieces. I thought those other ones were small. These 2 little pieces right here that are 1/2 inch by 1 inch go to card number 8. And this little piece right here, I'm pretty sure is scrap. So the next one we're going to be cutting is our they're calling it the acorn print zip strip. So it's this acorn color zip strip. Cut 2 of them at 4 1/4, 2 at 4 1/4. And these 2 pieces go to card number 6. And this piece of zip strip is scrap. And next and last is the floral zip strip. And we're going to cut 2 of them at 3 1/2. 2 of them at 3 1/2. And these 2 pieces go to card number 8. And the rest of this zip strip, let me just double check. Yep, is scrap. So that is the end of the video. So we'll see you in the next video.